welcome to the Speeding Bulletin. My name is Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com. This is all Superman related news that happened during the week April 8th to April 14th, 2011. In movie news, Warner Brothers Pictures and Legendary Pictures announced that Michael Shannon will star in the role of General Zod in the director Zack Snyder's new Superman film, which is titled Man of Steel. Snyder stated, "Zod is not only one of Superman's most formidable enemies, but one of the most significant because he has insights into Superman others don't. Michael is a powerful actor who can project both the intelligence and the malice of the character, making him perfect for the role." Michael Shannon recently appeared at the River Run International Film Festival in North Carolina, where he spoke about being cast as Zod for Man of Steel, meeting Zack Snyder and screen testing with Henry Cavill. Newsarama.com conducted an interview with Henry Cavill, speaking to him about his new film Immortals, but also asking him how he'll be preparing for the Superman role. He said, "I think the most difficult thing with Superman is going to be doing true justice to the role while reimagining it." MTV posted a video showing Henry Cavill walking into WonderCon in San Francisco last week, talking about his audition for Superman and how he feels about being the new Man of Steel. E! Online spoke with Diane Lane and asked her whether she has read the script for Man of Steel, in which she'll be playing Martha Kent. She said, "I read the script under lock and key. I'm really excited. I'm really not allowed to talk much about it, I think, but it does cover the entire range of years from infancy on." Diane also appeared on Wednesday night's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno on NBC and said, "I'm going to be in one of those huge movies. I can't wait to see it already. I'm kind of amazed." LatinoReview.com claims to have received word from an inside source in the Man of Steel movie, who this time tells them that we will see both Jor-El and Lara in a sequence on Krypton, that the female villain we keep hearing about is not Ursa, but her comic book predecessor, Faora. Further official casting announcements are expected soon. Until then, take this information as unofficial rumour. Fans in New York City might want to note down the weekend of May 14th and 15th in their calendar to attend your second childhood memorabilia show at the Holiday Inn, which will include a tribute to legendary actor Glenn Ford, who starred as Jonathan Kent in Superman the movie. In addition, Robert Vaughn, who played Ross Webster in Superman 3, will be a special celebrity guest at the convention. In TV news, as the final episode of Smallville draws near, executive producers Brian Peterson and Kelly Souders participated in a few interviews this week. Peterson said, "What we really tried to do is create a finale that pretty much stands on its own for anybody who has ever watched any episode of Smallville to tune in and watch the finale. And for the hardcore fans that have been watching every episode, there are a lot of little nuggets and little payoffs all along the way." Kent, the 17th episode of the final season of Smallville, airs tonight, April 15th at 8 PM on the CW. In this episode, Lois turns to Emil for help after Clark Luthor sends Clark back to the alternate reality, where he encounters an irate Jonathan Kent. Meanwhile, Clark Luthor tells Tess he'll kill her if she doesn't take his side. Look for our episode summary and reviews in the days following this episode. IGN.com gave us our first look at Callum Blue, back in the role of General Zod for an upcoming episode of Smallville. Zod is back on April 29th in an episode called Dominion. Cassidy Freeman takes the spotlight in a new Ford Focus sponsored CW showroom TV spot, where she talks about her role as Tess Mercer on Smallville. Speaking of Cassidy Freeman, TV Guide's Megabuzz column had one Smallville tidbit to do with Tess Mercer. Kelly Souders explained, "I think that she's got some really critical interactions with some key characters in the show, and she definitely is going to be forced to take a side at the end of the day." Warner Home Video announced the upcoming release of Season 2 of the Justice League animated series on Blu-ray. The HD Blu-ray release on July 26 will contain 2 discs with a running time of 593 minutes and a recommended retail price of $39.99. Warner Home Video also announced the upcoming release of two 3-pack DC compilation DVDs. The DC Kids 3-pack Fun collection includes the animated movie Batman vs. Dracula, episodes from the Justice League Unlimited animated series, and the animated feature Superman Brainiac Attacks. The DC Universe 3-pack Action collection includes the animated movies Green Lantern First Flight, Superman Doomsday, and Justice League New Frontier. These DVD collections will hit shelves on May 31st. Superman homepage reviewer James Lands continues reviewing episodes from the 1950s Adventures of Superman TV series. Come to the site now to read his review of the Season 5 episode The Town That Wasn't, in which Jimmy is targeted for a bogus police crackdown on speeders. DC Comics released their July 2011 solicitations this week. We highlighted for you all the Superman-related comics and products listed. A special note was Action Comics 903, which continues the reign of Doomsday Saga, and Superman 713, in which Superboy and Supergirl catch up with Clark Kent to find out why he no longer wants to be Superman. Superman comic books we reviewed this week included Superman Batman Annual number 5, which was reviewed by Michael Bailey, who said, "This annual was a lot of fun," and he gave it a 5 out of 5 rating. Ralph Silver reviewed Justice League of America 80-page Giant 2011 number 1, giving each individual story within their own rating, mostly positive I should add, while DC Universe Online Legends number 5 was reviewed by Jeffrey Taylor, who said, "So little story was advanced in this issue," and he gave it a 3 out of 5. Superman comics shipping this week from April 13th include Superboy number 6, continues the Reign of Doomsday story, Superman 710, which is available in a variant cover, Superman Codename Patriot trade paperback. In other news, a copy of Action Comics number 1, which was stolen from actor Nicolas Cage 10 years ago, was recently recovered, found in a storage locker. The man, who was not identified, bought the storage unit in an auction through Riverside-based American auctioneers. The book was identified by New York dealer Stephen Fisher, who sold it to Cage originally. HollywoodReporter.com reports on the latest developments in the ongoing legal battle over the rights to Superman, with US Magistrate Judge Ralph Zareski rejecting the WB's attempts to pry open secret documents that were said to show an agreement between the estates of Superman co-creators Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel not to make further copyright deals with the studio. The case continues with debates on who owns what, now in the hands of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. That's all the Superman news there was for the week April 8th to April 14th. I'm Steve Younis from SupermanHomepage.com.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone, welcome to Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. Today I want to talk about Zod. With the announcement that Zod has been cast, there have been all kinds of reactions from fans all over the internet, and people that I talk to in person. They say, "Zod again? An origin story again? What is going on? Can't we do anything new? Can't we do anything original?" Well, I have to say that in some ways I feel this sentiment, and I agree with it. Part of the problem with Superman Returns for a lot of people was that it seemed like a rehash of Superman the movie. I didn't feel this way completely. In fact, I thought it was great. I loved it. Maybe I was tainted by the idea that we finally had a new Superman movie, and I was just incredibly excited and happy, and no matter what they showed me, I would have had some amount of pleasure. But I thought the movie was great. However, there was that hint of campiness that the Donner films embodied, that hint of silliness, that hint of this isn't real, so kind of take it as a joke. Lex was over the top, but better than in the Donner films, I thought. A little more serious, a little more sinister, nasty, stabbing Superman with the kryptonite. But still, the real estate guy, the guy who wanted to steal things from old ladies, the guy who personally wanted to rob banks and go in. And this isn't my Lex. My Lex is the guy who sits in the back, who hires people to do his thing for him, who makes sure things get done, and eliminates people who are in his way, but without implicating himself in the process. And by being the guy who's in the museum stealing the stuff, by being the guy who shysters an old lady out of her funds, it kind of belittles the character, in my opinion. I love the scenes with him on the ship, with him talking about gods, and with him talking about how Superman is above us and thinks he's better than us. My issue is that they don't just do a rehash of Superman 2. There were a lot of complaints that Superman Returns was just a rehash of the first movie. We don't need a remake. We're calling this a reboot. So what I want to see is a sinister Zod, an evil Zod, a guy who can take on Superman, a guy who puts the fight to him, and we can see that going on. In fact, not that anyone's listening to me, but I think it'd be great if we put in some of the Last Days of Krypton by Anderson, the novel. I thought it was a fantastic book, and just a great portrayal of what Zod was like on Krypton. I know we can't have a whole movie like that, even though I think it would be one of the best Superman movies there's been, and Superman doesn't even appear. But we could have flashbacks to give us some depth to Zod, which we haven't seen before. I think that would be great. Look for that, and I think we're going to see something good. I'm still looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a new Zod, an evil Zod, a really great look at a great character. Thanks for watching, everybody, and remember, look up in the sky.